Kingdom Builders Change the World, Chapter 4. Where is the kingdom? This is a critical question that you would think is unnecessary, but it's extremely important because where the kingdom is determines a great deal about how kingdom citizens live their life. Is the kingdom only in heaven and not on earth? Or is the kingdom in heaven and on earth? Or is the kingdom present, or is it purely future? That's an important distinction to understand, because if the kingdom is purely future, then there really is no concern, or should be very little concern, about evil in the earth today, because it only will be functional when Jesus comes again, as many people believe, to Jerusalem to set up his kingdom in Jerusalem to rule the entire earth. So it really changes our perspective if the kingdom is purely future. But if the kingdom is here in the present world, then it will impact and influence how we think, how we plan, how we build, how we live, how we relate to other people, and so forth. So the answer to the question is the kingdom present now or is it future, will help guide your entire life. If it is purely future, then as I've said, there's no concern about what goes on now because there's not much we can do about it. But if the kingdom is presently here, then it dictates how we live our life, how we influence society around us, and how we see what is going on in the world, both good and evil. You know, Jesus said to be born again is necessary to see the kingdom of God. So if he was mistaken about it being present, then he was talking about some distant future time, which would then make much of the New Testament irrelevant to the present. But that is simply not the case. Now, the kingdom of God is here. It is present. It is in the earth. It began with Jesus. Jesus said the kingdom of God is within you, or as some have translated it, the kingdom is in your midst. Now, the Greek word entos actually gives us two different definitions, both within you and amongst you. And I believe we can accept both views as being what Jesus intended. It is within, that's how God rules in our heart, and it is amongst us. It is the power of the presence of the King who literally can rule and overrule all of society. So the fact is that once we understand the kingdom is here now, and this chapter will elaborate it a lot more, then we will understand how we as kingdom citizens can impact the culture around us. Not be simply content with the way things are, but be discontent because we want to change the evil situations into good according to the principles of the kingdom. Now, the kingdom of God here and now is not like the kingdom in heaven. If we were to go to heaven right now, we would be totally surrounded by the presence of the kingdom. But we live in an earth which is fallen. There's evil present, and that Satan and his minions are carrying on evil activities in the present time. So we as kingdom believers, cooperating and working together with the principle of synergy, we can literally drive out the kingdom of darkness, drive out evil, and we can bring in the kingdom of peace, the kingdom of salvation, the kingdom of joy, the kingdom of light. We can help transform not just human institutions, which is our responsibility, but help transform human lives from the lost to the saved. So the kingdom is here because Jesus said, I promise to give you a kingdom that's present in the earth today. Now, the kingdom is already, but not present, fully present. So we need to understand what that means. How can it be present and not fully present? The manifestations of the kingdom today gives us a glimpse of what the eternal kingdom in heaven will be like and upon the new earth. But it is not fully manifested at this time because that will only occur at Jesus' second coming. And even with the kingdom being partially revealed and manifested today, we can still do a great deal of good in the earth.